Yes.
So, hi everyone, welcome back to CGB Mentors. And today we have a very special guest with you, Mr. Suyog, who has recently been qualified in IRDAI AM 2024. So, welcome, Suyog.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very absolutely fine, ma'am. Since
Okay,
past 5 years,
so
I was best feeling ever.
okay, so give us a brief intro of how your preparation journey began and how did you choose to go for a regulatory body exam, right? And what are the hurdles that you faced? So just give us a brief intro about yourself.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, I graduated in mechanical engineering in 2020, and since September 2020, I started to prepare for UPSC CSE. I gave 4 attempts at it, but I could not clear the UPSC exam. My fourth attempt was on my birthday itself, but I could not clear
Okay.
it, so it was a heart-wrenching moment for me. So I decided to shift my career path. Initially, I wanted to pursue CGL. I prepared for CGL, but in between, I cleared SEBI's prelim. So since
Okay.
I cleared SEBI's prelim, I appeared for its mains examination. I got to know more about regulatory bodies. I was earlier much into CGL, but since SEBI,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that okay, I can do this because the regulatory examinations have very little vacancies compared to CGL.
Correct.
I was a bit skeptic about it initially, but I decided to go with it because it provided much bigger opportunity for larger impact on society. It has pan-India impact. So I thought that I should go for regulatory bodies. And IRDAI attracted me more because of some personal reasons. I lost few relatives who didn't have insurance. So I thought
Okay.
that it is a right place for me to work in. So I prepared for it.
Surely. Surely. So you have the experience of SEBI and ADAI, right? You also went for RBI, or that was not the case?
Yes, ma'am. I gave RBI examination. I
Okay.
cleared the cutoff, but my sectional cutoff was not cleared of logical reasoning, I guess. So I could not appear for the mains. Hence,
Okay.
I turned to IRDAI with more focus.
Okay. So, Sayok, because you have multiple experiences with different kind of exams, I would like to ask you that what is the one hurdle that you faced with respect to regulatory body exams?
Uh, Hurdle of prelims. Prelims hurdle is
Okay.
the biggest hurdle because the cutoffs are soaring high. IRDAI's cutoff last
Mm-hmm.
year was 80 out of 160, and this year it was
Okay.
around 107 something. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that this cutoff hurdle of prelims is keeping many good aspirants away from the chance to appear for mains. So that is the
Mm-hmm.
biggest hurdle. One is I faced, and I think multiple aspirants are facing also.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, because phase one is getting tougher and tougher each
Yes,
year.
ma'am.
So, what has been your preparation strategy for phase one?
Okay, ma'am. So there are 4 subjects in phase one: quant, logical reasoning, English, and general awareness. So for
Yes.
quant and logical reasoning, I prepared well for CGL itself earlier. So I
Mm-hmm.
had not a big problem with them. But I think one should
Mm-hmm.
prepare thoroughly for LR and quant, give as much time as they can, solve solve religiously, solve many
Mm-hmm.
questions on it, give good marks on it. So that should be one's strategy for LR and quant. Considering English, I prepared for UPSC, so I used to regularly read the Hindu. I never skipped the
Mm-hmm.
Hindu, not a single day. So my English actually improved at a very large scale owing to this reading. Such like I scored 37.5 out of 40 in English section in IRDAI prelims. So my
Okay.
stronghold was English. I even gave
Mhm.
CAT and Z examination and I have 99 plus percentile in VRC section. So one should
Oh.
read the Hindu only. Improving English, that is a must. Without English, you can't clear the cutoffs. And considering general awareness section, there is plethora of material available, but we should
Mhm.
restrict our material like one or two good magazines like Affairs Cloud, CGB's data, and just revise
Mhm.
for past 3 or 4 months on primary basis on priority.
Yeah.
So majority of questions will fall from these past 3 or 4 months. So just pick up a good magazine, read it multiple times, and appear for prelims. So considering combining all of these four strategies, one can easily clear any cutoff. Definitely.
Okay. So, two things that you have mentioned, they really stand out. Number one is practicing religiously for the or LR in the con section, right? Because that is very important, and that's what we also suggest to our students. And apart from that, the next thing that you mentioned, reading newspaper. So, reading newspaper not just brings you the English related knowledge, but apart from that, you also become aware about your financial surroundings, right?
Yes,
So, yeah,
ma'am.
that's very, very important.
Biggest
Now,
benefit, ma'am, of English is when you read it, in each regulatory examination, you have to appear for English paper for mains. So you don't
correct.
need to prepare separately. You have every data about how to present yourself in English paper. And apart from this, you have general awareness data. You read editorials, you get data from there. So it helps
Mhm.
in tremendous ways. It is just a non-replaceable thing.
Okay. So how long you took for preparing, like for being ready for IRDA phase one? That means what was your strategy? What was the timeline?
And 2 months are enough, considering that
Okay.
I had prepared for English for a year. So any new
Mm-hmm.
aspirant should take at the best 6 months to get ready for
Okay.
any regulatory prelims examination.
Mm-hmm. Did you also prepare phase two along with phase one, or what was your strategy for it?
No, ma'am, absolutely not. I didn't prepare for phase two during my phase
Okay.
one examination. Phase one
Mm-hmm.
happened on 6th of November. Result came on 26th of November. So after 26, I got to know that I have cleared the phase one examination. Then I searched for
Mm-hmm.
phase two material. Through that, I got to know about
Yeah.
IRDAI. I made a one friend
Mm-hmm.
during my prelim examination. He told me about CGB particularly. He
Okay.
said that CGB
Okay.
material is the best. And apart
Mm-hmm.
from this, I saw many video of past IRDAI toppers on CGB channel like Monica Malik ma'am, Shruti Vats ma'am, Polash
Okay.
Jainsi, and two of them had a UPSC background, and they
Mm-hmm.
just referred to CGB material and they could clear their mains. So from
Mm-hmm.
I guess 1st of December, I purchased CGB's course and I prepared for next 20 days. That was the sole
Okay.
timeline I prepared for. I gave for mains, and that was more than enough.
So what you have just said is like so heartwarming for us, right? So I would like to ask you one question specifically on this. You came to us through word of mouth, right? But what has been your experience with us? Like, obviously, because in 20 days you were able to prepare. But if I would ask you that, what were the few qualities that you found in our material that was not there elsewhere, or something like that?
Okay. First, crispness of the material. Material is
Okay.
so compact. I
Yeah.
had eight notebooks for my history optional for UPSC, and IRDAI material, IRDAI material from CGB. It was covered in just three notebooks, 300 pages only, and that gave me this assistant managerial post. So the greatness of CGB material speaks for itself. It is very compact material. One can cover every syllabus topic from CGB material. There is dedicated data given for any particular that syllabus topics, and just refer to that CGV material, make your notes, revise them 3 4 times, and everything can get covered in mere span of 18 to 20 days, ma'am. What else
Yeah.
can I say about this thing? It makes you
Great.
an officer within 20 days.
Yeah, sure. And like, I would also like to ask one more question over here. What was your strategy regarding mocks? Did you appear for any, or like, has that helped you? And what is your thought about it?
No, ma'am, I didn't appear for any mocks for phase two. Neither
Okay.
for phase one. I just believed that I gave many sectional, I gave for CGL, so I thought that that was enough. Considering phase two, I had very little time. I would have appeared for mocks definitely, like definitely, but I didn't have any time to cover the syllabus. I barely covered my syllabus within time frame. I reversed it 4 5 times, and the main examination itself was my first mock. So, but one should must
Okay.
appear for mocks. because they gave
Yeah.
us idea about how to cover within time, because the paper was extremely lengthy. So if one
Mm-hmm.
had this practice of appearing for mock, then it would have been easier for those people to get an edge over time management.
Okay. So here I would just like to add a little bit of point. You had experience of UPSC mains writing?
Yes, definitely. I didn't appear
Yes.
for mains, but I practiced for mains.
Okay, great. So UPSC mains experience or writing experience for that matter, and along with CGL, as you are saying, right? So you didn't need that mock practice over here, but I guess for a fresher or somebody who's very new to these kind of examinations, they should definitely write mocks, correct?
Definitely, ma'am. It is
Hmm.
irreplaceable because through that only you get to know about how to structure your mains answer, because everybody is having the data, but the person who is able to put that data in presentable format easier for the examiner to understand, paper checker to understand. That is important, that one understands from appearing for mocks, practicing mocks. So one must know how to write introduction, how to write main body, and how to write conclusion in positive format. So UPSC imparted me this particular thing about conclusions. I just mugged up all the 17 SDGs. I had all the data prepared. So I used to write very positive and very optimistic conclusions, that there were many questions. I used to write that, okay, by practicing this, we can reach our SDG goal number this, or we can reach to the goal of Vikasit Bharat by 2047, or some other agendas. So one gets the knowledge of these things through practicing only, and how to
Okay.
write in concise manner, how to write in bullet points. One can
Mm-hmm.
like know about these things to practicing only, and if one directly appears for the examination without practicing, they will go on writing essays instead of good answers.
Correct.
So one must
Correct.
practice the mocks, and the other reason was the CGB mocks were over before I could
Hmm.
complete the syllabus. There was a fixed timeline given for the mocks. I think there were 5 mocks available, so
Mm-hmm.
I completed my syllabus after the timeline of 5 mocks was over. So I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
had chance to appear for mocks, but if I had, I would have appeared for sure as many mocks as possible.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very great advice for the future aspirants as well. That if you have, you should cover the syllabus in time, right? Or some portion of it might be covered before the examination as well. Means phase one examination. It could be combined in a manner. Now,
Okay.
next thing I would like to ask you that have you taken the excerpts from the newspaper, like some data, some facts here and there, which might make your answer very useful and unique from others? Has that been your strategy?
I didn't take notes from newspaper this year, ma'am. I had the
Okay.
notes for my UPSC preparation till last year, but
Okay.
I knew the data. I put it
Okay.
in there, and
Hmm.
yes, it gave edge over other candidates, I guess.
Correct. So yeah, a bit of edge newspaper that gives you along with English in your current affairs and whatnot.
This is the
Now
age of
let's
data, man. One must be ready with data, and whoever
correct.
presents the data wins the race.
Okay, yeah, sure. Now, one thing is related to interview. I would like to ask you, was that your first interview, or have you appeared for any interviews, any kind of interviews before
No, ma'am, this was my first interview. This was my
in
first
life?
experience with the interview. I
Okay,
hadn't appeared for any other interview till date.
okay. So, how has been your experience? What have been your sources for the interview prep? That's what I would like to ask.
It was fantastic. I will first go with sources. The results came
Mm-hmm.
on 31st of January midnight, I guess, and my interview was
Mm-hmm.
scheduled on 16th of February. So I had to
Okay.
cover all the things between this in these 14 days only.
Yeah.
So I contacted CGB. First of all,
Mm.
my my panacea to every problem regarding IRDAI. So they told me
Okay.
how to prepare for it. Mayank sir conducted sessions every day. So
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I prepared IRDAI annual report religiously. Then that IC01 book, which provides
Mm-hmm.
information about everything regarding insurance. My own notes for insurance prepared during mains. Apart from this, the best and biggest part is our DAF, detailed application form, which we submit to them.
Correct.
Interview revolves around your DAF only, so you have to justify what you have written in the DAF. So first of all, I prepared DAF very carefully. I contacted Mayank
Mm-hmm.
sir many times. He suggested me the first thing and best thing is they have asked us why you think you are suitable candidate for IRDAI, and they have just given us 4 lines. We have to
Mm-hmm.
give our answer in 4 lines. So Mayank sir helped me in that. I wrote answer very strategically, and yes, there were questions from my that answer during interview. So one has to prepare the DAF religiously, give their hobbies and justify them clearly during their interview. Prepare economic survey, prepare budget, prepare IRDAI annual report, prepare IC01, and prepare from your graduation syllabus if you are a fresher. I was a fresher, I didn't have any job experience, so I prepared my mechanical engineering syllabus thoroughly. All the 48 subjects I covered. I created notes. So I
Oh,
was, yes, I was there with all the armors I could get, all the arms I could get. I prepared very well because I wanted this job. So I didn't left a stone
after
untouched.
after discussing with you, I'm finding out that interview has been where your all guards were up. You were
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
I cannot make any mistake over here, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Great. So covering all of your like syllabus in just a matter of 16 days, that is very, very commendable,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
So how has been your experience with the interview over there? What were the specific questions that they asked you about?
Okay, interview experience was phenomenal. One of the best 25 minutes in my life I ever enjoyed.
Okay.
So my interview was on 16th. I went there. It was in the morning session. We went in there. It was a great feeling to enter into IRDAI. There was separate some arrangement made for our parent. So it felt good that my parents are enjoying some government facility just for a few moments. It was a satisfying feeling after toiling for
Sure.
5 years. And my interview was with C2 panel. So I guess Sinha sir was the chairman. He is a full-time member with IRDAI. I went in for interview. They made me feel comfortable, welcome really well. There was warmth of love in interview panel. So I sat there and he started from my deaf. I had mentioned that my hobbies are reading and sharing history. I am a history enthusiast. So my interview revolved around history. For like 85% of my interview was around history itself. Sir asked
Oh,
many analytical questions regarding history, like Mughal Maratha relations, and many questions regarding that. So I answered him the way I could. And after questioning me, the chairman sir said that whatever I had written in my DAF, I'm justifying it. I'm able to like explain myself well, and he's feeling great interacting with me. So I thought that at that very moment I was relieved, thinking that okay, this is going well. And apart from this, other members asked me about history of insurance, other insurance sector, what India should do in insurance sector, about reinsurance, about impact of joint family in insurance sector, and why penetration is lower in rural areas compared to urban areas, and other things. And one member particularly asked me from my question why you think you are suitable candidate for IRDAI. I mentioned there
okay.
that the evolving attitude imparted by UPSC makes me a suitable candidate. So he grilled me over there, but I think I could justify myself well, as I think as I got selected. I
Obviously,
think
you did.
I justified myself well. And
Yes.
the fifth member didn't ask me anything. She said that, okay, I'm good. I had all my answers. So they said, Syok,
Okay.
okay, your interview is over. You may go now. I just exited the room. While I was walking, I just called my best friend Anurag and told him that, yes, I'm getting selected. I'm feeling that I'm getting selected. So that was my
That,
all experience with
yeah, that was a
interview.
wonderful feeling. Now, just one last question. Was phase two material of any help in interview?
Yes, ma'am. They asked me about history of insurance. I had this idea because I had mentioned history as my favorite subject, my hobby. I had this idea that they will ask me about history of insurance, and the CGB material has given history of insurance since 5000 BC. So I just mugged it
Mm-hmm.
up. They have given
Okay.
history of insurance very well.
Mm.
So I mugged that data up. They have given very well about reinsurance, that Lloyd, their branches, how reinsurance entered India, what does reinsurance mean, why penetration is lower in rural areas. So everything which was covered in mains, which was covered in interview regarding insurance, was there in my CGB material. It was there in my CGB notes. So it was a cakewalk for me. Just read that, present that, and get a post. That was a cakewalk.
Great. We are very happy to hear that. And now, just your some words of wisdom that you would like to give to the future aspirants or those who'd watch this video. So, what should be the key takeaways from this video for those aspirants?
Okay, and the key takeaways are, if they're appearing for IRDAI, then mains has 85% weightage. Mayank sir said that he scored 89 marks in interview, one of the best marks, but he could not clear the IRDAI examination because he left 2 or 3 questions during mains. So anyone appearing for any regulatory body, just make sure that you attempt all the questions in your phase 2 examination. If you fail there, doesn't matter how well you are gonna score in interview, there are very few chances that you will be in the final list. So complete all the paper of all the questions of paper 2 and be confident for the interviews. And apart from this, like, go for some motivational videos to keep yourself motivated, because I saw many UPSC aspirant there for interviews. One person was with 7 or 8 attempts. So we need that motivation to give our best once again, give our best once again. So be motivated, keep your material concise, don't go here and there, stay away from negative people from social media. Give this 6 or 8 months of toil for yourself, and you rest of your life in happy manner. So work hard, study hard, keep your material restricted, and understand the demand of examination. If it is demanding more from main syllabus, mains paper, give your 100% there, give your 100% in every aspect of examination, and you will get selected. Just be confident and believe in God. God will reward the efforts.
Thank you so much, Suyog. It was wonderful talking to you, and we are very, very happy that we could play a small part in your journey,
It
right?
is not
We
a
wish you
small part, man.
okay.
You took just 3,500 rupees from me for my mains preparation, and here I am holding a job in IRDAI. So it is not a small part. It is, I think, one of the biggest part, I could say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yeah, we wish all the best for your happy future. Thank you
Thank you
so
so much.
much.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
man. Have a nice day, man.
You
Yes.
too.